Grizzlies' Ja Morant took a hard fall last night against the Thunder and didn't return. Let's break this down. As Pippen passes behind his back, Morant plants both his feet, loading up into a dunking posture. Without a defender, his body would follow a parabolic arc. Determined by vertical and horizontal takeoff velocity, it would rise, peak, and then fall under gravity and forward momentum. But as the defender pivots to the right and loses footing, Dort's face collides with Morant's left hip. This disrupts Morant's center of gravity and upward momentum, cutting his lift short. The result, an earlier descent, a lower peak, and a steeper, shortened arc. As Morant comes down, both of his hands brace some of his momentum. No severe foosh mechanism like we saw with Tatum, but similar to Butler's pelvic and gluteal impact, we see a direct impact and force transmission through the front left portion of his hip. The impact is isolated to this region, the anterior superior iliac spine of the pelvis, also known as the ASIS. This is a superficial, unpadded, bony prominence, making it particularly vulnerable when landing on a hard surface. Since the ASIS protrudes, it's the first point of contact, and in Morant's case, energy from the fall was concentrated over this small surface area, increasing pressure at that specific site. With little surrounding soft tissue or muscle to absorb that force, the bone typically takes on the brunt of the impact. And there's usually two major concerns here, first being a bone contusion. This is a microfracture of the trabecular spongy bone beneath the outer hard cortical layer without full cortical break. Second is a fracture, most common being a iliac wing crest fracture. Direct blunt trauma can crack the iliac wing or crest itself, typically minimally displaced because of the stable pelvic ring. Another thing to consider is an ASIS avulsion fracture, more common in younger athletes, but if there's a contraction of the muscles prior to the impact with the hardwood, a strong pull from the sartorius and tensor fascia lata during impact or bracing can rip off a piece of bone here. Just like Butler, he'll likely have an MRI today, which will be used to rule out a fracture and evaluate what structures might be involved. Best case, contusion can be anywhere from 2 days to 3 weeks. Worst case, a fracture, typically non-surgical in this case, can be anywhere from 3 to 8 weeks. The Grizzlies were crushing the Thunder at home and ended up losing this game after Morant left. Really unfortunate since no NBA team has ever come back from a 3-0 deficit, and he'll likely be out for game 4, but don't expect this to cause any long-term issues down the line. Wishing Ja a safe and speedy recovery.